Well, with that said, I want to skip to my next question. You did answer the question concerning Christian militias. There were Christians killing Muslims as well. You made that very clear in your bio. Now, here's the tough question. This is what a lot of people really want to know and understand. You say in your bio, in 1975, as soon as the civil war in Lebanon broke out, I participated in most of the aspects of the war, from shelling Christian neighborhoods to laying an ambush for Christian militias. Now, here's my question. This was done, according to your bio, in the name of jihad. Could you explain what jihad is and explain its relevance in Islam?
Jihad cannot be separated from Islam. Some Muslim scholars call it the sixth pillar of Islam. Islam has 5 pillars.
Right.
And some Muslim scholars, rightly really, I believe, call it the sixth pillar because when Muhammad moved from Mecca to Medina, immigrated with his followers, in Mecca, which is now, today is Saudi Arabia, they were oppressed, they were persecuted. When he moved to Medina, he became like the king over the town, and he ruled supreme, and then he received a revelation from Allah. I mean, that was really in Medina. So before Medina, it was a religion after spiritual values, a religion after kind of human values. When he moved to Medina, he became like a political leader, and he received a revelation from Allah saying that now is the time to fight back because you were persecuted, you were oppressed, your possessions were confiscated. And so the Quran gave him the go-ahead to fight the infidels, the idol worshippers, and he started raiding their caravans, and then he was successful. It's a long story, but in the end he was able to conquer all of Arabia. Then his followers went out and conquered Syria and Egypt and the whole, almost of the old world, really, if we can look at it. Now the question is, I sometimes see books like, Who Speaks for Islam? This is a lady who was, President Obama appointed her as an advisor, Magda. Who Speaks for Islam? This is the title of the book. I think Muhammad speaks for Islam, because if you really want to know what's Islam, it's Muhammad who speaks for Islam. It's his biography and his teachings. You see, it's not what you may call moderate Muslims or Muslims who are secular. You see, like if you really want to ask who speaks for Christianity, it's not a sinner, a poor sinner like me. It's Christ or Saint Paul, maybe. So it's really kind of Muhammad speaks for Islam, and jihad is inseparable. Now, in modern times, it's really kind of difficult to say that what the jihadists, the people who wage jihad, are doing a legitimate job according to Sharia law, because you need an authority, a Muslim authority, that would really declare jihad on the infidels. And we were taught when we were in the ranks of the Muslim militia, it was a branch of the Muslim Brotherhood, that the world is divided into 2 parts, the world of Islam and the world of infidels, and it's our duty really to convert the other world or to Islam, or subjugate it by force, because infidels are they don't know what's good for them. Muslims are the only viceroys of God on earth, of Allah on earth.
Right.
So jihad is part and parcel of Islam itself, but the issue is that because there is no recognized head of the Muslim nation
no
today,
successor or leader. Right.
Jihad is declared sometimes in illegitimate situations. But however, Muhammad said anybody who defends himself or fights in self-defense is waging jihad. And this is what the Palestinians in the occupied territories in Palestine say, that they are defending themselves, and their endeavors are jihad.
So in other words, they
and
are
also Hezbollah.
So in other words, they are going by what Muhammad taught, and
yes, certainly.
What you also said was Muhammad blended spirituality with politics, which probably led to this jihad, right?
Certainly, especially half of the Quran, if roughly speaking, is Meccan, and the other half is Medinian, which, I mean, the revelations in Medina talk about a state. It's not only a church and a state. And as long as there is no separation between state and church in Islam, we'll always see a problem that, and Muslims will not be able to integrate in any modern, state, you see, because they always think back and look back to the glorious times of Muhammad and his followers, which lasted till, if I can say, till the Ottoman Empire that fell down in 1923 with the invasion of the Allied forces.
Okay, now let me ask you something. In your bio, you said you'd given up being in this Muslim militia because you didn't understand the violence. So you gave this up to become a Muslim preacher instead. Until your brother was killed by a Christian, this led you to lead a double life. In your bio, you said, as an Islamic student and as an assassin. Now, how did you become a Christian through all of that?
Yeah, it's a long story, but in...
Give us the short end.
In 1976, I was, when I laid down my guns and wanted to become a Muslim preacher, they really microwaved me into a Muslim. I knew the Quran, half of it by heart then, and my Arabic, classical Arabic was excellent. So I was going to preach the Friday sermon just a week after that. I mean, it took me 6 months, but I mean, there was 1 week for my first Friday service. To lead the first Friday service, it was like an ordination. When I got into a car accident, broke my legs, and I was laid up for a year. I started learning English, then reading novels written by Louis L'Amour and comic books like Snoopy and Charlie Brown, etc. So then the issue is that I qualified to the American University of Beirut. I wanted really to pursue a career in medicine, but again, God had a different plan for my life. That first semester, I was a freshman student in 1980. My only brother, my only sibling was killed by a Christian militia. I was devastated because he was my only brother. My mother had died 3 years before him and wanted to kill my aunt. I dropped most of the courses except one course. I wanted to meet more Christians in college in order to make friends with them, in order to ambush them easier, because when you make friends with them, you know where they live, how they move at night, etc. So I kept one course and dropped, and that course was a course of cultural studies, comparative religions, as well as comparative cultures, and the New Testament, the Old Testament, and the Quran, all in English, were part of that. So I, who was seeking revenge, I was stalking my enemies at night with a gun and a silencer, read the Sermon on the Mount for the first time, read Love Your Enemies. I felt, wow, this is superhuman or ridiculous. Who could love his enemies? My enemies are those who killed my brother. So I felt that I felt compelled to read the Bible, and then I started sneaking into churches to hear how they speak about Jesus Christ. And one thing led to another. In 1987, I decided to quit Islam completely in secret, really. And so it was first in secret, but my friends and relatives started to see some, signs of me not being a devout Muslim anymore. Some of them were shocked. Some of them, they did not really want to talk to me because they held me in high esteem because I was leading Quranic studies before that. So nobody really questioned me about, this change in my life. But I kept like a secret, believer for a long time, really.
Okay. Yeah.